work with the standard head that I gave you. Let's start off by importing it. So I'm going to do a file import, and I do have a copy of the head here called head.obj. When you import the head for the first time, you'll find out that it's actually constructed of more than one mesh. But to be able to extract the other parts, you need to select it. You need to go to the modeling submenu, and then you go to polygons and then separate. Okay. Once you do separate it, you'll be able to access all of the other parts. Now the problem here is that the pivot points of certain areas of the mesh will not be where it should be. So, for example, if I select the eye and I attempt to rotate the eye, it won't be at the center of the pivot of the eye. So we need to correct that. So again, with the modeling submenu in place, you're going to go to modify and then center pivot. Do the same thing for the eyes, both of the eyes. So select this other eye and modify center pivot. And do the same for the T. So if I go to wireframe view, you can go to modify and center pivot, modify and center pivot. Alright, and you should save your work. Alright. Once this thing is in place, all you have to do is to create the separate layers for the work. Now, you should select everything and do a modify freeze transformations. Alright? Now, this I'll call animated head. So in the channel box, animated head. Alright? I'm going to name the other parts appropriately. This is the left eyeball. And this is the right eyeball. Okay. And if you go to mesh view, this is the upper teeth. And this is the lower teeth. Alright. So let's proceed. Layer. I'm going to double click this and I'm going to call this BlendShapes. And assign it a color. In this case, let's assign it green. Click on Save. Create another layer. And this layer I will call Joints. And give it a color, in this case purple. And finally, one last layer, and we'll call this Animation. And give it a separate color, in this case yellow. Alright, now we need to duplicate animated head. So select the head and go to Edit. And duplicate, go to Duplicate Options, go to Edit, and Reset Settings. So click on Duplicate. And just move this out of the way. This is our base head. So I'm going to rename this and I'm going to call this Base Blend Shape. Alright, and I'm going to right mouse click the layer called Blend Shapes, select it, and right mouse click it and go to Add Selected Objects. So I can easily hide my blend shapes whenever I need to. Alright, so let's hide that for the moment. And let's work on getting joints